very big on a hyperbaric chamber. I have 2 of them here. I only used to have the lay down one because that's what I could afford at the time, but also that's all I knew. But we had so many people come in that were claustrophobic. They didn't want to be zipped into it, you know, so they weren't comfortable, so I got the other one. But I actually have a hyperbaric chamber in my home too, folks. And part of the reason that I'm enjoying the vitality that I do at 75 is because my body is so well oxygenated. And I'll throw in real quick, the injuries I showed you, I have a prosthesis in here now, a whole thing. I can lift my arm up this far now, but I couldn't even get it from this far when I first had the injury. I was on a walker. I couldn't dress myself. I couldn't do anything. Hyperbaric chamber. So you can imagine with your injuries, what it's doing for you, because oxygen makes everything work in your body. It helps the cells to repair. So if you're oxygenating yourself, your cells are going to repair faster. When man was created, the oxygen levels were at 38%. After the Industrial Revolution, they were down to 22%. We're living in the teens in terms of oxygen. All cancer cells, all viruses, you can call it herpes or COVID or whatever, they're anaerobic. They can't live in an oxygenated environment. So you're not getting it from the air you breathe, and if you're not eating 100% raw like me, or at least 50%, you're not getting it from your food either. So that's why these things can take over and attack you. There's nothing out here attacking you, it's what you've created in here that allows it to happen. Because the world is made up of viruses and bacteria. That's all we are. We're bacteria, we're viruses. But we create this environment so that what we're supposed to gets in and it disrupts everything. But I don't worry about getting sick. I don't worry about anything. And I don't tell anybody they shouldn't do what makes them feel comfortable. But I'm here to tell you, you start oxygenating your body consistently, and especially with what you're doing. I know you're here for the recovery. You know, we're going to talk about it, and I think that's fabulous. But in the meantime, you're doing a bunch of other stuff too you don't even realize. You're keeping yourself from getting sick and all kinds of things that can happen. So I'm all about oxygenating the body. And so I'm so glad you guys found me because of Michael. Michael brought you here, right? Come on, let's give a round of him. No. Oh, come on now. I would have found this on my own.
I'm not mad at all.
I be flexing sometimes, you know.
So tell me a little bit, you guys are all, you do mixed martial arts, right? Mm-hmm. So the folks, they do mixed martial arts. I have a part of a little team here that's been coming in to do our hyperbaric chamber. So tell me what your experience was. Michael, you want to start? Tell me your name and how.
I'll start. So my name is Mike Will. I started off wrestling at 13, 14, high school, and then my dad put me into boxing at the Y. And he was also a boxer, so I just would spar with him from time to time and lift. And then, I don't know, I got to the military when I graduated high school. And out drinking, I was walking past a Muay Thai gym, and I saw people in there punching and kicking, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that next. And I went in the next day, and I was hooked for like 3 years, 2-3 years. And then I got injured. I stopped for a second, came back, and I found a gym out here. I met James. James ended up going to the Chicago fight team and asked me to come over. And I got there and met Jeremy and met a whole bunch of other people. I got beat up for like the first 2 months just from technique and just like the process and just learning how to really blend all of the arts just at that one place. So yeah, since 14 I've been doing it.
Beautiful.
29 years old.
So what brought you here? Oh, we know what brought you here. What results did you get from coming here?
Man, using the hyperbaric chamber, it was just amazing because I came in with a really bad back issue. James knows because
he caught it in the closet. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, it happened in a fight. One of my first fights, I had injured it. We were at our previous gym, and it was just a constant injury that kept coming back. And we had a hard session, and the next day I felt it and told about it and came in and used it, and then like the next day I was in practice and I didn't feel no pain. I was just firing off all cylinders. So
next day, no pain, folks. I know he's young, but we've had other older people come in, and then I'm a testament to it too. It helps speed up the healing of your body. It's that simple. You can't get away from it. Oxygen speeds up the healing. Oxygen is life, right? We can't live without it.
Just recently, I had injured my knee, and then came in and did like 4 or 5 straight sessions, and I'm good. I'm back in practice and firing off. I can't really do everything, but I'm still.
But that's why you're back.
Yeah.
You know, so it's for some people they get injuries and it can stop their careers or their life or forever. You know, and you just get a little oxygen. I'm not claiming it's going to work for everybody as quickly as these guys and me, but I don't know, make your body a laboratory and come in and try it and see how it works for you. How about
My name's Karyn Conrad. I started jiu-jitsu after I graduated. At 25, I'm 30 now. And just stuck with it the entire time. I love it. I also do MMA just because that's what I was trained and I try to keep up with that, but I focus mostly on jiu-jitsu. I've got a tournament next weekend. And with jiu-jitsu, especially the more you progress, I'm at a purple belt level now, there's always aches and pains. Like, for example, I jammed my thumb, that kind of hurts. Little cauliflower ear,
well, let's see what happens today.
Let's try it.
Okay.
My ankle feels kind of weird. My knee feels there's just a bunch of things. And when I came last time, I had those things. And I came and I didn't think it worked at first, but then that night I realized there's nothing hurting me. That's why I didn't immediately realize it. Because if you take pain away, you don't necessarily know it. But my knee was great, my ankle was great, even my cauliflower ear somehow. Like I still had to drain it a bit, but it didn't hurt nearly as badly. It just felt like everything was in the right direction to healing a lot faster than it would have.
Oh, what a concept. Oxygen, humans, and healing. But it does work. Thank you so much. And and you want to tell us about you?
So, I'm Antoine Animal King Bibbs.
Oh,
that's my fighter's name. I started fighting at the age of 6, back in Chicago Park District at Taylor Park. Had over 40 boxing fights as a kid.
I like boxing?
Boxing. And I did that off and on from 6 to about 17 years old. Took some time off and found MMA when I was 23. Just walking, doing food deliveries for DoorDash, and walked into a random gym and was hooked at first sight. I'm here because I've heard many success stories from Mike and Jeremy about how great the oxygen therapy session is, and for somebody who's very active 2 to 3 times a day with working out, jiu-jitsu, fighting, with chronic ankle injuries. I'm looking forward to seeing the success I can potentially have myself.
Perfect. Well, we're going to throw him in, so we'll let you talk to him when he comes out again, too. But you look like our leader here.
It's a scrapping one right here. Well, my name is James Dunn. I'm from Chicago. I'm one of the pros with Chicago Fight Team, and one of the coaches over there as well. And I've been practicing MMA, jiu-jitsu, boxing, Muay Thai for 10 years now, and have gone through various rigorous programs of training, and I've had my fair share of injuries, displaced both clavicles, fractured both shin bones, knee injuries, hyperextended every joint in my body. And I have tried the Hyperbaric Chamber, and it's done wonders for me. It's taken away pain. I have gone to practice right after using it and felt like I can breathe so much easier, and my lungs are opened up. So I've had a lot of success with it and look forward to more sessions and see what it does for me.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nick Brancato. Let's see, I started martial arts actually when I was like a kid. Like I was like maybe like 10. I did like taekwondo or whatever. I did that for like a couple years, and I didn't do it. I didn't even step in a martial arts gym until college, till I was like 21. I was just going through like a real like rough patch in my life, and I needed like another outlet, because I was athletic in high school. Like I did football, swimming, and water polo, and I was just weightlifting, and I felt like I wasn't really like training towards anything. Like
A goal.
Yeah, exactly. So my one buddy told me to start doing jiu-jitsu, and then after like my first week, you know, I was like, man, like I want to be a black belt, you know, and then and it's actually kind of funny because at first I never even thought about like even like competing in jiu-jitsu, and then I started doing like my first tournaments in jiu-jitsu, and then eventually I started doing that for like maybe like 5 years. I was doing jiu-jitsu, and then I was like, man, I think I want to take this a little bit further. So then I started getting into like striking, and then I had my first fight, and then I met these guys over at Chicago Fight Team, and they welcomed me in like open arms, and I mean I've gotten better now. Like I feel so much more confident now, like in my next fight, because in my last one I was like really nervous, but now like I'm more like excited now. Like I actually have like a smile on my face when I talk about it, you know. So,
I don't think I'll ever have a smile on my face getting beat up, but that's okay.
Well, I mean, you know, it's like we're training every single day with each other, you know. It's like we're really like trusting these guys like with like our lives, you know, and like you know, trusting like on multiple levels. I mean, like well, for one, that you know, like if they attack it, they're gonna like go first, you know, and then second, you know, just camaraderie, you know, and like just the attitude, and like this gym is really like team oriented, and it makes it so much easier just to like go in, you know, and like you have confidence even in them that they're gonna push you, you know, so like. Yeah.
You know what I have to say here, you know, I brought you all here to talk about the Hyperbaric Chamber, but I think the bigger picture here is for young men who see this YouTube to realize if you're feeling dissatisfied or you just don't know what to do with yourself or you're uncomfortable or you're going in a direction that isn't going to serve you, I think these guys here, all 5 of them, have given you some answers that you can look into to channel yourself in a better way, because I mean you all look extremely successful and happy to me and peaceful. I think that's the most important part about life, is being peaceful. So you found peace and joy in your life, which is what we're here for. You know, so I'm saying any young men out there that are watching this, or dads with sons, you know, you want to direct your sons in this arena, because you all are wonderful young men, and I'm so excited and happy you're here, and I really appreciate you coming in to put this word out. And we'll talk about it when the cameras are off, because there's some other stuff you guys can do that you're doing so wonderful, you know, to add into everything. So guys will take what these guys have given you, and it doesn't matter what your age is or where you came from or where you started. I mean, you each said basically the same thing when you walked in and started. It was like a missing piece to you that made you feel whole. And I'm saying, not a lot in our world today for young men do young men have a rite of passage. You know, in the olden days, or all the different tribes, or you had a rite of passage where you became a man and you had to go through certain things to do it. And I think a lot of the young men, that's what's wrong. That's where in their street corners and they're doing all these things that aren't elevating their lives in any way, because they haven't found the outlet. So I so appreciate what all you guys are doing and the way you express it, because that's not what you thought you were saying, but that's what I heard from each and every one of you, that you found a way, an outlet for yourselves to feel peaceful, joyful, and whole. All right?
And I just thank you, because the Hyperbaric Chamber really just kind of is a really good resource for it to continue going, like to stay with consistency, because that's one thing I was worried about, like what happens if an injury happens and I can no longer do it, and then I'm stuck sideline watching fights and I'm kind of salty, like, man, like, no, I don't want that, so I appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate you guys, and thank you so much, and we'll talk again, hopefully, because now that you're on my team, I don't let people go. You know, once you step in my atmosphere, that's it. You can find a way to go. Yeah, no jokes. You're part of it. And please remember, folks, in whatever you do and whatever you choose, and I'd love for you to come here and try our therapies, but if you don't take care of your body, the most magnificent machine you'll ever be given, where are you going to live? Thank you.